When I was young, I took democracy for granted. We were in the fight with the communists. Democratic principles were taught, I think, in just about every grade in school, and we practiced student government. I was a parliamentarian in high school. Our system of government, our Constitution, was the bedrock of our country to be protected and cherished, to defend with my life, if necessary, if we were attacked. Ah, the innocence of youth. Maybe I should have paid more attention to John Dewey, who said, democracy is a process, not a static condition. It is becoming rather than being. It can easily be lost. I had no idea how easily it could be lost until President Trump's second term. I had been very concerned about the attacks against civility and democratic processes during his first term, but there was strong resistance, and Biden's presidency was an exemplary restoration of democratic principles. The speedy sweeping away of so many democratic checks and balances by Trump in his second term, with an overwhelming number of patently unconstitutional executive orders, shocked me. Then the caving to tactics of intimidation and the complete surrender of all resistance by Republicans in Congress, again, was deeply discouraging. While our national government is under siege, democracy hasn't been defeated yet. One place it will continue to thrive is in Unitarian Universalist congregations. It will thrive partly because our congregational governance is a deep spiritual commitment I discovered in my 20s. My minister, the Reverend Rob Eller Isaacs, at the Oakland, California Unitarian Church, encouraged me to attend Pacific Central District Leadership School. It was a week-long training for emerging leaders and congregations in our district at a small retreat center. As part of the program, we learned different techniques for running effective meetings. We role-played a typical problem that can come up in many congregations. As we pretended, people started taking their roles very seriously, as if we were actually the board trying to resolve the problem. It got personal and tempers flared. We stopped the role play, took a break, and then our teacher led some process observation to help us recognize what had just happened. I was young and usually only focused on getting the task done. I was unaware of the emotional processes going on within the meeting that created barriers to solving the problem. I had a big aha moment of what was happening at several different levels I hadn't recognized before, paying attention to what wasn't being said. And people's body language could have a huge impact on the effectiveness of, and even the enjoyment of that meeting. Most people put the word spirituality in the category as associated with something that happens on Sunday morning in worship, maybe at home doing meditation or prayer, maybe relaxing at the end of a yoga routine, lying in the corpse pose on the floor, maybe at a moving play or a dance or a musical performance. And many Unitarian Universalists report experiencing it walking in a forest or on the beach or maybe at a hilltop outlook on a hike. Well, I claim ordinary meetings can be spiritual too. Our way of doing religion that is based on self-governance is a very precious inheritance of which our ancestors sacrificed their lives. The Protestant Reformation took the power away from the Catholic Church and their priests. They believed God could work through the people in the church to guide it, select its leaders, and govern itself. They would pray before, during, and after their meetings for that guidance. And their guiding text was the Bible. Ours is our conscience, with faith in the inherent human value and ability to make decisions. Decisions at least as good, if not better, than the church or the priests made. That God-given capacity that Protestants claimed for every person was the ability to come to their own conclusions about the interpretation of Scripture. Now, they benefited greatly from hearing the minister or leader interpret it first. But if they heard conflicting opinions and interpretations, as well as studied the passage themselves, they could have faith that God would show them the truth. We Unitarian Universalists have broadened this understanding too, going back to last Sunday, talking about Article 2. This is in the Article 2 bylaws. Congregational freedom and individuals' right of conscience are central to our Unitarian Universalist heritage. Congregations may establish statements of purpose, covenants, bonds of union, so long as they do not require that members adhere to a particular creed. Paired with this freedom and right of conscience is also a responsibility. Responsibility to participate in the process of congregational life and governance. This brings us to James Luther Adams' subject of the readings from this morning. He interpreted that freedom that began with the Reformation as the ethical power of voluntary associations. Adams recognized our congregations were not just a place to practice one's personal religion. They were voluntary communities created by the members bound in covenant and shared responsibility. They were a place where people could practice personal freedom alongside mutual obligation, following right of conscience and self-governance. Our congregations are examples of how one's moral life can be shaped without state or ecclesiastical authority. Adams thought our congregations mattered because they gave people a space to choose their commitments and then work together to improve institutions, society, and public life. For him, our congregations were both a religious community and a training ground for democracy. I hope this vision of our congregation as a training ground for democracy will help you appreciate the importance of the ritual of our yearly annual meeting that will happen right after this service, the first Sunday of June. Some congregations do it the last Sunday. Albany UU, where I served in Albany, they did it the third Sunday of May. Our whole Unitarian Universalist Association does it at the end of June. We call it General Assembly, and this year it will be June 14th through the 21st. While there aren't dramatic votes to be taken this year here at our annual meeting, we will get to read and hear reports about what our congregation has been doing and about some of our successes. You'll hear about the budget for next year. You'll get to affirm the nominating committee's choice for new officers. And this year, you'll get a chance to affirm our proposed covenant, reformed since the last time we redid it was 2003 for our congregation. So much to learn and discover about who we are and what we do. So please consider using your free choice to attend our annual meeting and celebrate the power of democracy that is still alive and kicking right here. May our participation preserve it for future generations.